ascendancy to the position of the Vice President of this nation has not just opened the door, it has opened doors. And I'm happy with her promise that she's going to keep the doors open for many more to take advantage of and to improve the living standard of our people. Ghana's democracy is the ultimate winner of these elections. We are definitely on the right course. I want to encourage all to continue in that right direction. Honorable members, this meeting is for a few days, being a product of a culmination of teething problems of our fourth attempt at democratic governance. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the commitment, resilience, and dedication that some of you honorable members have made and displayed to ensure that the term of this parliament ends successfully. Together, we have maneuvered and creditably navigated through, for the first time, an unexpected hung parliament with its unprecedented challenges. Despite our failings as legislators and leaders, Ghanaians held their peace and endured with admirable patience and tolerance. I take this opportunity to commend all Ghanaians for the show and demonstration of democratic maturity. As we prepare to embark on this penultimate meeting, we have, honorable members, work to do. We have a duty to perform. We have a parliament to strengthen, and we have a nation to build. The business of this house is far from complete, and the legislative priorities before us demand nothing short of our loyal service, utmost dedication, focus, and firm action. Several crucial private and public bills, tax and financial requisitions, international agreements, and committee reports are pending and at various stages of consideration. Unfortunately, the season and time are not in favor of a heavy work schedule as detailed out on the order paper. We are compelled, in the circumstances, to be realistic and to prioritize business. Unless we abandon the interests of the people and nation, there is no way the long list of government business on the order paper could be done within this limited period of time before the end of the term of office of this parliament. Consequently, I propose the House considers the following items as priority business. 1. Expenditure in advance of appropriation bill 2024. 2. Environmental protection bill 2024. The consideration of the process of this bill has been taken already. It just left with the third reading only. 3. Boundary Commission Bill 2024. This is a very urgent bill due to the state of insecurity in the world, particularly our sub-region, West Africa. The Social Protection Bill 2023 as number 4. Parliament Transition Bill 2023. The Parliamentary Service Bill 2024. And a few Public Accounts Committee reports, which, if not taken, will lapse and have to be referred to a new committee in the 9th Parliament. And I believe that will cause irreparable damage to our economy. The 2 bills sponsored by Parliament are essential in refining the processes involved in the peaceful transfer of the management and administration of Parliament to prevent the occurrence of the ugly incidents at the death of the 8th Parliament. It is time the House takes a decisive action to enact a law to strand out in clear terms the processes and procedures of transition from one parliament to the other. The Presidential Transition Act 2012 is a shining precedent for the executive arm of government. Additionally, the long-awaited International Business and Economic Transaction Bill, which is pivotal in positioning Ghana as a key player in the global economic arena, ought to be considered. I'm however giving a signal that this is unlikely to happen because of the nature of the bill. But I believe that this bill lays the groundwork for more robust, clear, and transparent international economic engagements, enhancing investor confidence while safeguarding our national interests. I urge the Business Committee and leadership of the House to sequence the programming of these essential legislative items. Honorable members, let us end this Parliament on a good note. It is essential as leaders for us to act to preserve the gains of our democracy. In summary, I emphasize our sacred mandate to serve the people of Ghana. This sacred mandate remains active until the end of this parliamentary term, and nobody should forget of that. Once more, you are all warmly welcome, and I thank you for your attention. Honorable members, we will now move to the next item, definitely our usual item of correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. I have two additions. The first, dated Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. I hope members have copies of that. And so we start with the Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Sorry, page 4. Honorable Member for West Central. Thank you.
The Speaker, I just want to draw attention to the fact that you adjourned because there was no quorum. But if you look at the total number of people listed here, you have 171. It does contradict the reason you adjourned the House. Purposely for lack of quorum. And you have 171. I just wonder how it is. And the report is saying that the caucus, the majority caucus, did not attend the House. So it kind of contradicts the essence of the reasons you close you adjourn. Thank you.
Yes, honorable member.
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm just wondering if we have been given different votes and proceedings for 22nd October 2024. Because Right Honourable Speaker, what I have has 120 members, not 170 as Honourable Purple has. So that's Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. I have 120 members present, 7 members absent with permission, and then, Mr. Speaker, 148 members absent without permission. That's what I have. So I don't know if we have been issued with different votes and proceedings for Tuesday, 22nd October 2024.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, just adding my voice to what former Deputy Leader said, Honorable Rashid Topo, in respect of their votes. Mr. Speaker, even if it was 120 as per the records, the 120 present was sufficient number for the House to sit and deliberate on matters. So I just wanted to add my voice to what he said, without more. Thank you, sir.
Yes, again, Honorable Ablakwa.
Hello? Yeah, I'm grateful, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to draw the attention of the Honourable Majority Leader that the intervention he just made has been settled by the Right Honourable Speaker. If the Majority Leader pays regard to page 8, paragraph 7.3, the Speaker explained that, quote, the Right Honourable Speaker indicated that per Article 102 of the 1990 Constitution, Order 64.1 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, the House had quorum to transact business. However, per Article 1041 of the Constitution, the House did not have the numbers to take decisions. So the matter was addressed by the Right Honourable Speaker. So that intervention that we had the numbers to proceed and all of that, the Speaker, we only had the numbers to form a quorum, but we didn't have the numbers to take a decision under Article 1041, which the Right Honourable Speaker properly addressed. So I don't know where the Majority Leader is going with this. You are leading us astray. And if we can focus on the correct votes and proceedings, if we do have the same votes and proceedings for Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, I think that will be helpful.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Before I respond to my respected colleague, and I know that he wasn't attempting to challenge me on procedure. In the list, my procedure is good. Mr. Speaker, you made me aware some time ago, and this is a preliminary comment before I come to this issue, that sometimes a speaker may have to make a mistake to ensure that democracy survives. So, Mr. Speaker, this you told me some time ago, that sometimes some mistakes are necessary. I'm referring to Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that sometimes some mistakes are made just to get things done. So I have said that in jest. But let me go to the issue. The issue raised by Honorable Purple was to the effect that the House was adjourned because there was no quorum to sit, not quorum to take decision. That was his argument. Mr. Speaker, that was his argument. That why is it that although we had sufficient numbers to proceed with the day's sitting, Mr. Speaker, in Parliament, we don't only sit to take decisions. We sit also to make statements. When it comes to statements, statements are made where a matter of national importance is considered, is debated. A motion could also be taken. It is only when it gets to the point of decision making that the secondary stage of quorum would have to be triggered. Mr. Speaker, the issue is the primary issue of quorum, which Honorable Purple wanted to draw the House's attention to the fact that we had quorum to sit. There wasn't any government business on the floor that day. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to take it that perhaps it was one of those necessary errors to get democracy going. But Mr. Speaker, there was no such issue of lack of quorum for the House to sit. And the 120 members present answers the question. Nobody should attempt to create confusion on this matter. Honorable members should not throw dust into our eyes. This is the issue. Hands up will capture the record. The vote is here that we had 120 members present. That is in respect of the 22nd of October 2024. Is here. The last person is Zidane Bell and Watazu. Is here, Mr. Speaker. So the House was properly constituted to proceed with deliberations. And to undertake other legislative work. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, Honorable Rashid Elko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think we are operating at two different lanes. I made a mistake and made reference to the Thursday sitting, which had 171 members. And so he is talking about the Tuesday meeting. So he may be arguing on the right path or otherwise, but that's not exactly what I meant. I just wanted to make reference to the 171 members. And I thought that the 171 members were not present in the House and couldn't have been captured in the vote and proceedings. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Honorable members, yes, please. Honorable Blakwa, yes.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader is raising a matter that, Mr. Speaker, we have to pay attention to. It's been a house of record, and these are matters that went all the way to the Supreme Court. They are constitutional issues, and we should not gloss over them. The fact of the matter is that when we convened here on the 22nd of October, our colleagues on the other side did not attend proceedings. They were not in this house. They boycotted the sitting. And so we did not have a decision-making quorum. And that is the basis upon which the Speaker ruled, which is clearly stated in the votes and proceedings. So for the majority leader to be using the back door, albeit surreptitiously, to say that there was a mistake by the Speaker, there was no mistake. There was no mistake. The fact of the matter is that we did not have a decision-making quorum. And the Speaker stated emphatically that there were decisions that we had to take. We didn't need that day to read statements and to exchange pleasantries and to file questions and all of that. There was a motion, there was the need to take a decision, and we didn't have a quorum to take that decision. We didn't have the minimum 138 to take a decision. We didn't have that. So, Mr. Speaker ruled clearly. And Mr. Speaker, in case the majority leader wants us to refer him again to page 8, the Speaker's ruling is there clearly that the House, the Article 1041 of the Constitution, did not have the numbers to take a decision because there was, according to the Speaker, a matter that required decision to be taken, and we did not have the numbers to take a decision. So if you read, it's stated clearly. Just read the ruling fully, and you see that the Speaker was very, very clear that we were meeting to take decisions, and we did not have a quorum to take a decision. So majority leader, this is your attempt to use the back door to rewrite what had happened and to even suggest that the Speaker made a mistake. And you know our standing orders. If the Speaker made a mistake, have you come by motion to challenge the ruling of the Speaker? The Speaker's ruling has not been challenged, and that is the ruling of this House. That's what the record reflects. So the Speaker, I think that we have to really make progress. The Speaker has not made a mistake. What transpired here is clear. You called for an emergency sitting. You ran away. You didn't show up. We were here. You were nowhere to be found. I actually tell you, use this opportunity to apologize to Mr. Speaker.
You just called for correction of votes and procedures. It's entirely the post of the House. And even the Speaker did that corrected that comported accurate that no decision was being made. So calling that order to enforce is wrong. He himself, in speaking, he said that there was no decision on the other paper to be made. So maybe we should take advantage that the item on the table now, on the floor now, is correction of votes and proceedings. So, Mr. Speaker, if something has been stated wrongly, this is the time to correct it so that we can move on.
Honorable members, I think we should just proceed. The person who raised the issue said his reference was to a different order, votes and proceedings dated Thursday, 7th November 2024, not the one we're considering dated Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. And so that ends it. As for the others, those who believe that I erred in my ruling, they need to be taken to school. I'm not sure they read the ruling very well. And that ruling actually worked in their favor. Honorable Majority Leader, it actually worked in your favor. And for you to come here and try to impede on that ruling, please, I really was surprised that you raised the issue that you put across. It's not correct. Please.
If you don't intend the temperature. Mr. Speaker, I never raised this matter. Honorable Rashid.
I'm not saying you raised the matter. I've not said that.
Mr. Speaker, calm
but
down.
you gave an example that I told you. I'm sure you are talking about maybe in private.
No, Mr. Speaker, that's
sometimes
different.
the speaker errs.
Mr. Speaker, not on this occasion. It was not related to this. Mr. Speaker, it's not related to this. Mr. Speaker, today is the first day. Don't mind them. They are provoking you. Don't mind them. It is not like, Mr. Speaker, don't mind them. Don't be provoked. Mr. Speaker, be a very happy man. I beg you. I don't want them.
Don't worry. I will never be provoked.
Mr. Speaker, that's
but
okay.
the public, they are listening to us.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't relate it.
You know,
I beg you.
And the public will be misled. I gave about 3 reasons. And I'm sure you didn't avert your mind to the 3rd reason. For the reason why I adjourned, actually not suspend, I adjourned the meeting indefinitely. And I listened to some of you debate this matter on air. And I thought you should have been commending me for adjourning it, but you were rather condemning me for doing so. It saddened me, but I understand the arena we are in. And so I've taken it cool in my stride. As we go along, we will have to deepen the orientation and training of members of parliament so that we don't get the public being confused by you who are seen as leaders, you who are seen who should know better, rather misleading them. So let's go back to the correction of votes and proceedings on the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. We're at page 4. And those present, as you can see, are 120. Those absent with permission were only 7. Then the rest are absent without permission. So please, page 4. Yes.
No, page 4. Item 13, I was present, but be marked as absent.
Table office kindly take note. Yes. Honorable member. Are you on your feet to... Sorry. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Yes. Honorable Oseiche Mensah-Bonsu.
Speaker, page 6, item numbered as 98. I think I transmitted a leave of absence request that have been marked as absent without permission. So if you may direct the table officers to take note of that. And having said so, Mr. Speaker, even though we start a bit late, it's past 2 o'clock, it's almost 3. I don't know whether you may want to call for an extension of the sitting period.
Yes, I may need to look at our new standing orders. A few things have been changed in the new standing orders. But I call on the table office to look at the request for permission and whether that request was approved. If so, please, you do the right thing by making sure that he's absent with permission. If not, you leave it as it is. But now our standing orders talks about us sitting for 5 hours, not the 4 hours as indicated by the earlier standing orders. And so there has been some change as to a time to announce or give notice to the House of an extension of sitting. So we may have to look at it again. Page 7. Yes, please.
Right Honorable Speaker, I was marked absent without permission, but I was present. Thank you.
What's your number?
Number is 138.
138. Yes, you want to help her?
No, Mr. Speaker, I had a different matter that I wanted to raise, but she said 138, page 7.
Yes, 138, yes. Yes, you could now add yours.
And Mr. Speaker, again on page 7, number 134, I was in the House but marked absent, so if can be captured.
Are you sure that day you were in the House?
Mr. Speaker, yes. And I even granted an interview on that day. I came in and my members had done the press conference and left. But at least I was in the chamber, and it should reflect as such. If we are here independently representing our people, on that day, I was here, and I granted an interview after that.
Yes, table office, kindly take note of that. Page 8. Yes, sorry, page 7.
7. Mr. Speaker, number 115. I was present that day, but not absent. Thank you.
Number 115. Kindly take note. Yes.
Speaker, thank you. Page 6, number 69. I was present in the chamber. Thank you.
Table office, kindly take note. Any more? Okay, we'll move to page 8. Page 9. Page 8. Yes, please.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, page 8, the tradition of this House, when there has been a boycott by one side, is that the votes and proceedings capture that. But you go through the entire votes and proceedings, and Mr. Speaker, that is not reflected. Mr. Speaker, for example, if you take the Thursday, 7 November one, that is captured. That boycott or lack of attendance is stated. But in the case of the 22nd October 2024, no show by our colleagues on the other side is not captured. You only get a slight sense of that when you look at the Speaker's ruling, where the Speaker says that the House did not have the numbers to take decisions. But why didn't we have the numbers? That must be stated, because our colleagues were not in the House that day. And that has been the tradition. It is always stated in the votes and proceedings. So, Mr. Speaker, if the table office can reflect that development, because it is missing.
Yes, Honorable the Chairman of Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in response to my colleague's correction, I do not think that we were in the House and we walked out. That's what we call boycott. Members, it is recorded that 120 were present. This number was absent with permission, and these numbers were absent, Mr. Speaker. And I think that the records, it's captured it straight away. Nothing happened in the chamber that indicates that a group of the people had boycotted Parliament. And therefore, I think it should remain as such. Thank you.
Well, I can only direct the table office to cross-check as to what happened that day. Because on record, there is no indication of a boycott or even a walkout. But my ruling gave an indication that we do not have sufficient numbers. And definitely those of us who were present also observed a few things. And I think that it have been captured by the verbatim reporters who were present in the House. But our attention has been drawn by the Honourable Member for Domi Kwabinya that she came later on and was present in the House. And so we have to make sure that we capture all this. But I recall talking about adjourning the House, the meeting, not suspending the meeting. So please, table office, take note of it at paragraph 3 of my ruling. Now we go to page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 22nd October 2024 are hereby adopted as a true record of proceedings. We now take Thursday, 7th November 2024. Page 7. Page 7. Yes, please.
I'm grateful, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, page 7, item number 4, your formal communication to the House, second paragraph. The two requests, the dates provided are incomplete. We only have 22nd October and 24th October, but the year is missing. So if they can add a year, this being a House of Records, I presume it's 22nd October 2024 and 24th October 2024. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Table office kindly do so. Page 8. Honorable members, the votes and proceedings of the emergency sitting dated Thursday, 7th November 2024, as corrected, are adopted as a true record of proceedings. We now move, and I have 4 copies of different sorry, my attention has been drawn to the fact that Honorable Osei Chairman Sabosu was on his feet. Sorry. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, not really a matter of controversy, but I thought that is for consistency. Mr. Speaker, you adjourned the sitting of 7th November 2024 on account of the prevailing situation in the House, that you took cognizance of the fact that a group of members were not present in the House, and then you proceeded to, on account of that, you proceeded to adjourn the House sine die. That was on the 7th of November 2024. The Speaker, on Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, when you adjourned the House, it was an account of prevailing circumstances. 1, and you yourself mentioned it, the prevailing circumstances. 2, the question on the composition and constitution of Parliament. And 3, having regard to public interest. These were the 3 reasons that you cited, and then you proceeded to adjourn the House. Mr. Speaker, I'm just juxtaposing the 2 circumstances. Same thing. And in that regard, what you did will not qualify for a ruling, because I've heard people refer to the fact that you made a ruling. A ruling on what? A ruling is only made when there's a matter in contention, and then you come in to give your interpretation and how the House should proceed. So what you did, captured on page 8 of the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, which has been described as your ruling, with the greatest respect. The adjournment was an account of the prevailing circumstances, and you related to it. And as far as I'm concerned, that will not qualify for a ruling of the House. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, we are correcting votes and proceedings. There is nothing here that says that the Speaker gave a ruling. There is nothing. So, Speaker, page 8 says Speaker informed the House. So it was information coming from Mr. Speaker. As for what other people have said on radio, it cannot be part of our votes and proceedings.
Well, I take it that the word ruling has been used loosely, because the votes and proceedings are very clear. They refer to what happened that day as formal communications. On both instances, it's captured there as formal communications. But what is generally understood by many, particularly the public, is ruling. And so we are all caught up. Even I have fallen a number of times into that trap, and I've used it a number of times. So it's not a formal ruling, but just communication to the House. And I think that a former majority leader was drawing our attention to it. But Honorable Mama Yalga is right. We are correcting the votes and proceedings of the House, and there's nothing referred there to ruling. It's just information to members. It's a formal communication. Yes, Member of Parliament for Domi Kwabinya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, also to take you back to the vote and proceedings, which you've already cleared it, but I just want to draw your attention to something on page 14 about the Committee on Employment, Labor Relations and Pensions. Honorable Comfort Doyo originally is not a member of the committee, but the matter that we were considering was bothering in her, or was happening in her constituency. And I remember that every time that we met, she made herself available. So if it can be captured as in attendance, at least it would capture the true reflection of what happened on that day. She's always been part of our meeting as the Member of Parliament in the Adan area where the electoral term issue occurred, not as a member of the committee, but as the sitting Member of Parliament who has shown concern. Thank you.
The table office kindly take note. Anyway, let's now look at the official report, starting with the one on the 5th July 2024, which is a Friday. The proceedings of that day has been captured verbatim in the official report. Any corrections? Honorable members. Yes, please. You don't have copies?
No, right, Mr. Speaker. Yes, please. We don't have copies.
What about the 9th, 10th, and 11th July? These are all none. Then we'll have to take it another day. Please, table office, take note of that and get copies across to members. Honorable members, we move to the next item. Business statement. Chairman, Business Committee.
Right, Honorable Speaker, with respect, I shall proceed with a business statement for the week ending 20th of December 2024. Mr. Speaker, the business committee met and agreed on the business for the week. Same has been captured by a 9-page document signed by my very self and attached to this report. Mr. Speaker, per what we have, we expect to not only end on Friday, but Mr. Speaker, if you would permit, we may have to add Saturday to the sitting so that we could adjourn for the Christmas and then come back. Mr. Speaker, all these that have been proposed are conditioned on resolving some critical outstanding matters, particularly statutory payments and other matters that members expect action on. I expect the whips to take this matter up, the majority and the minority whips to take the outstanding statutory payment matters up so that it will pave the way for us to have a smooth deliberation for the week. Mr. Speaker, the report has been circulated to all members and I shall proceed to resume my seat and let's invite comments from members so that we bring a finality to the program for the week. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable members, we take it that the business report has been presented. Any comments? Yes, Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to make a comment on the business statement presented by the leader of government business. And Mr. Speaker, one thought that the leader would take a cue from your guidance. There are major developments in the country, and therefore, as a House, Mr. Speaker, one of the most important business this House should preoccupy itself with is the expenditure in advance of appropriation for January to March 2025. Arguably, Mr. Speaker, because the new government, which will assume the
GHOne TV, and there is breaking news coming from the Electoral Commission's Greater Accra Regional Office. Now, the news is that some NDC supporters who are in favor, obviously, for the NDC parliamentary candidate for Wejak-Bawe constituency, Felix Ni Odate, have set tires ablaze in front of the office right now, and the move is to call on the EC to declare that candidate into power. So as you can see, we are going to give you update from that from our reporter live from the EC's Greater Accra Regional Office, and then we'll get the latest on that. As you can see on your screen, these are the NDC supporters from Wejak-Bawe. Felix Ni Odate is the parliamentary candidate for Wejak-Bawe, and these supporters are right there at the EC's Greater Accra Regional Office. They have set tires ablaze, and they are calling on the EC to declare their candidate as the winner of the just ended general elections. Now, my colleague Calvin is on phone. Calvin, good afternoon. Calvin, can you hear me?
Hey, hello.
Yes, Calvin, can you hear me?
Yes, it's difficult.
It's difficult hearing you, but I can report that this place has been a mess. It's been a mess. Supporters of Jerry Odate Lamte, the parliamentary candidate for the Wejak-Bawe constituency on the ticket of the NDC, are quite agitated, and they are calling on the EC to declare their parliamentary candidate the winner of the December 7th poll, or they will never back down on their protest. What happened here a while ago was quite terrible. The first car tires are ablaze. They were pelting the police. The police are here with wire control vehicles. They are pelting. As you can actually see in the shop, they are blocking the main road from the cathedral to the parliament. They are blocking it with a crash barrier of the police. They don't want any vehicle to pass through. And this is what is happening here. The situation is degenerated.
Ghana National Fire Service deployed a fire tender here, but they were able to chase the fire tender away. They chased the fire tender away. So the is getting intense here. It's getting so complicated here. The youth are not backing down. They don't want to back down. They block the road from the cathedral towards the parliamentary area. They say unless the EC declare their parliamentary candidate the winner, they will never back down on their protestation. They are so agitated and they are doing everything possible in making sure that the EC yield to their demand. That is why it's a total chaos. It's a total chaos right here. It's a total chaos. They are even attacking some motorists. In your shop, a motorist is being attacked. A motorist is being attacked by the youth. A motorist is being attacked by the youth. The situation is getting worse and by the minute. The situation is getting worse by the minute. That is the situation right in front of the Electoral Commission Regional Head Office here in Accra. So I would want to plead with the IGP to send more officers here. If not, we will see something terrible. From look of things, the youth are not ready to stop their demand. They are protesting. They are protesting. Do you know what? What you are doing is against the law. I know you have a concern. Why don't you do it?
What's against the law? What's against the law?
What you are fighting? You are fighting for our right.
You are fighting for our right.
Fight for your right by blocking the major road. You have to do it peacefully. What is your concern anyway? What's your concern? What do you want?
We want Jerry as our MP at the constituency. Rated by constituency. Yes.
But you have to wait for the processes to be passed through. You don't just come.
They declared. They said Jerry. Honorable Jerry saw me. Honorable Jerry saw me. It's a winner.
But if the numbers are saying he's the winner, that should be the status.
We have evidence. But the EC is playing yes. So we are waiting for the EC. We've been here almost 4 days. We've not tried from here. And we are here.
And they even call the wrong person to come and declare. My goodness, the situation is quite catastrophic if you ask me. The youth are not backing down. They are doing everything possible in making sure that the EC yield to their demand. A while ago, the police came with riot control vehicle to douse the fire that was set. Now they have taken to a different direction by blocking the road from the cathedral, the Catholic cathedral, to the parliamentary area. So no vehicle currently is using this stretch. If you want to come from the cathedral towards the Parliament House, you must think of using another route because the entire stretch has been blocked by the youth. The entire stretch has been blocked. There is no movement of vehicles from the cathedral towards the Parliamentary House. It's a total chaos. Like we are living in an anarchy state, if you ask me. They are not hidden to any form of advice. They will never back down. The youths are agitated. They are charged up. They are even fighting among themselves. There is no control over here. There's a total control. There's no total control here. There's a breakdown of law, as I can see. So we are calling for reinforcement. If not, something terrible will happen to our country. Something untoward will happen. The youth will not allow any vehicle to move. That is what they are saying. That is what they are saying. That they don't want any vehicle to move. They don't want any vehicle to pass through this direction. It is quite pathetic that after elections, our country is going in this tangent. It's quite pathetic. No one wishes for this. Authorities must take charge before this situation degenerates into something terrible that happens around the West Africa sub-region. This is not something that Ghana should be wishing for. This wait, but if you want the EC to come and do proper collection, you don't have to set fire, you don't have to block, you don't have to cause inconvenience to other users of this road.
Of course, yes, and it is here. Make a tree, me feel make a. Or see, you be on Friday. Yes, the catcher say by 5 o'clock a.m. I am done. Yambraha by 10. No way. You're on 10, pepe. We came here in peace. We are calling the EC to come and do the needful. They don't want to come. She's not picking the call. So she's the cause of all this problem. If she should have come here and do the needful, we should not be doing this. You understand? So she is the cause of all this problem. So she must come here, do the needful, so that the guys will stop this.
We also go in peace.
In peace. That is all we want.
That's all we want.
We are calling on the EC to come and do the needful. That is the reason why we are all here. So I think all what the guys are doing over here is not right. It's against the law. But the EC is the cause of all these problems. The EC needs to come here and do the needful so that everybody will finish. Thank you.
Well, that's a supporter expressing his opinion over there. But I still believe this situation could be handled in a more different way than what we are observing now. It's quite pathetic that after peaceful elections, this is the aftermath that we are all witnessing. It's not something that Ghana should be witnessing. Authorities must take charge and bring this situation under control. We shouldn't allow a situation of this kind to befall us in our country. We must protect our democracy. The youth are charged. They are saying that the EC should come and do the needful. That is to declare the parliamentary result of the Wejagbawe constituency in favor of their preferred candidate. That is Phyllis Odate. So this is the riot control vehicle from the foreign police unit of the Ghana Police Service trying to bring some order here, trying to put every situation under control. Well, we are still here and we hope and believe that the situation will be brought under control so that innocent citizens can proceed with their daily activities. There is traffic building up from the cathedral area towards the parliament area and also from the Rich Hospital towards the cathedral. Traffic is building up because the youth have blocked one section of the road right in front of the EC regional head office here in Greater Accra. This situation shouldn't be something we should witness in 2024, but it's happening. It's happening live and colored.
Remove the helmet.
Removing the blockades from the road so the citizens who are in their various vehicles should be able to drive to wherever they are going to. Yeah, that is what the police is doing now. Oh, there is someone being taken to the hospital in a taxi and they wanted to alight and continue, but the police have cleared the road now. The police have cleared the road now and the traffic will begin to flow. Traffic will begin to flow. Traffic will begin to flow. Traffic will begin. All right, traffic has begun flowing as the police have removed the blockades from the road. We have a police riot control vehicle inside that has taken charge currently, and the situation somehow is being brought under control for normal activities to continue right here at the electoral head office in the Greater Accra region. And it's all about supporters of Phyllis Odate of the Wejagbawe constituency on the ticket of the NDC that are demanding that their parliamentary candidate is declared the winner of the just ended 7th December presidential and parliamentary elections. The situation is currently under some kind of civility. As I can see, the police are here in their numbers, and we hope that nothing beyond what earlier on happened should occur again. There has been fire set here. So many car tires have been set ablaze. Earlier on, the Ghana National Fire Service deployed their fire tender to douse the fire, but the youth succeeded in chasing that fire tender away because they wouldn't allow the fire tender to douse the fire. The police are now in charge. Though the youth are still here, they have calmed down, and the situation is currently under control as far as I can see.
We came here Thursday. You told us to come on Friday. We came here on Friday. You said we should come on Monday. Today is Monday and we are here. Up till now, the issue woman is not here. So what do they expect us to do?
Our time. When we are coming here.
We are serious. We have work to do. We have work to do. We are very serious. So the issue woman should come here.
I think you should have allowed this process to be handled by your executives in the constituency.
It's taking long.
Instead of you guys coming here.
It's been 1 week here now. 1 week now that the election went on. And up to now, we've not seen anything. We've not heard anything. So we can't wait any longer. We can't wait any longer again. So we have to do something for them to know that we are serious. And we are not joking. It's been 24 years now that they've been stealing us. 24 years. And up to now, we've also went and done some processes and things, and we've known that they've been stealing us. So we also went into details. And right now, we've taken everything possible and we've done everything so that we will let them know that this year we are very serious. We are not joking. We are not giving up. We are waiting till the time they will tell us that Phyllis Odate Lamte is the MP for Wejagbawe constituency.
That does not lie in your bosom. It lies in the numbers. So if after collation, the numbers prove that Jerry is the winner, would you stop doing what you are doing?
Jerry is not the winner. The election, we won him at the polling stations. Jerry can never be a winner. Jerry can never be a winner. We got 35,000 votes and Jerry had 30,000. So there is no way that Jerry won us. There is no way that Jerry won.
You know, before you declare someone a winner in an election, you have to do a coalition. But they declared Jerry without a winner, without any coalition sheet. We came there, they made us aware that Jerry was declared without any coalition sheet. So we should write a letter to them so that they will send it to Jenisa. Then Monday we will get the results. We are here for the results. The EC official is not here to be found. That's our problem. I want to sound a warning to the president-elect. He shouldn't think that he has the numbers, the 2/3. That doesn't mean that he will ignore Bawe. No, he has his first victory in Bawe because of us. NDC has never won in Wetagbawi. 2024, we have set the record straight. His Excellency won it in Wetagbawi. So he should not close his eyes on Wetagbawi. Just because we have the two tests. Just because we have the two tests in Parliament. No, they should all come here and support us as they did in Domiko Abenya.
What is the indication that your candidate indeed won the Wetagbawi constituency?
Okay, if my candidate didn't win, if you are saying or they are saying that my candidate didn't win, they should let us sit down and do the coalition. MPP, they are not here to be found. We are ready. They should come for us to do the coalition and see who won. Because of that, let me tell you something. We've never won in some areas in Bawi, but because of this election, we won in certain areas that you will be marveled. Seriously, our president did work so much. We made him come to power. In Wetagbawi, President John Dramani Mahama has never won in Wetagbawi. So he should come in for us. He should come in. We are suffering.
But if you want a recoalition, this is not the place for the recoalition.
Okay. You said we should submit letters so that you people will send it to Jane Mason. We've already done that. On Saturday we did that. So okay, we are here now. Bring us what Jane Mason told you guys to come and tell us so that we will be satisfied. If there will be a rerun, if there will be a recoalition, we will be okay with that.
But before you came, what was the communication you had received from your party executives?
We received was that the EC official is going to show up around 10. We were here around 5. So they showed
5 or 5 a.m.?
5 a.m. They told us that she was going to show around 10. We waited patiently because we've already had a lot of patience to wait. Now it is 12 o'clock. She is not here to be found. And we engaged our elders and told them, say, what's going on? They said the EC official is doing some libilaba with us. And we said no.
Who said that?
Our officials. They told us. So we said no.
Did they confirm if indeed the EC was doing libilaba with you?
They confirmed. We went there to confirm it ourselves. The EC official is nowhere to be found in there. She's nowhere to be found. I think maybe she's somewhere enjoying because she has already forgotten about Wetagbawi. How can you make a declaration without collation?
Have you seen the pink sheet?
Yeah, I have seen it. I'm a polling agent. I have already seen everything. This is my party card. This is it. I've already seen everything.
On the pink sheet?
Something. We have a platform that whenever there is a pink sheet or anything during this election, it will be pasted in. You understand? In the pink sheet, Jerry signed around 4:51. We didn't sign because we were waiting for Jerry around 10 a.m. Jerry said we should give him more time. Around 12, he will sign. We waited. Jerry didn't sign. The EC official came out and told us, Jerry don't want to sign, so we should take it to court. We said, okay, then we will go. No, we don't say, okay, we will go. She told us that we should go because Jerry said he will take it to court. We said, okay, then we left. As soon as we left, you people have sit Jerry down around 4:51, declared Jerry as winner. Okay, no problem. The following day, we caught you people at the municipal trying to change results, put figures together. Around 11 something, what are you doing in that chamber? You EC official, what are you doing in that chamber? Around 11 something, trying to put figures together so that you balance what we have. You understand? The evening that they declared Jerry as the winner, I went to CNR, I went to TV3. TV3 posted a different result, CNR posted a different result. The results are not tallying.
But media houses do not declare results. It's the Electoral Commission that does.
Something, you post it out. So before you post something else, you have to make your ground research about it. You understand? You can't tell me, say, whatever I will say to you, you will post it out. No, you have to make research about it. You understand? Yeah, so you people did your research and posted that thing out. So it shouldn't have been done that way. You have to declare someone who has already been going, like let me say, if the person has already winner, just do the collation right. Follow the procedures that the EC said you must follow. Follow it right and make that person a winner. You can't declare someone without any collation sheet. Why?
You have been here since 5 a.m. It's now 3:31 p.m. What is going to be your next line of action? Because it looks like the police is intervening.
Tell you something. We will sleep here until we get results today. We are never going to get tired. boy. Ejema isi returning officer what we jagbawe. Isi returning officer I what we jagbawe. Ekache candidate ni enu nyina se. Mo betimi akwa bibi a mo pesa mo ye. So sign ya either re-election and now say obi abetimi akọ. Recount the accounted by 5 times. Ni nyina call is LED. Ejo betimi akọ re-election and now some for mo pan court. And if you go back to tell it because youth ni ya don to say who are nne na mo hu ni se fie yi no. O ma be buo dede a ekọ so nya ketwa. Nti o so opie no be address ni youth. Beka bibi kira wo mo. Ye hu ya ne say ama no so ho. So when we man so one man so the youth from peja no because you say ya wini ni ya jubilate. Abi dey dey say declare we ya chi. Say the real man and I win. Ya ti en wa say and after Friday no. Wednesday na jo me nya ne tie say.
Crave your indulgence and make an appeal, Mr. Speaker, to you and the business committee to perhaps consider, even though the time is so short, and may not have the opportunity again to speak to this nation on how well or not they have handled security, especially in relation to the just ended elections. Mr. Speaker, I think this is important because loss of lives during elections should not become a norm. Our elections should not always record the loss of Ghanaian lives. Mr. Speaker, it's becoming one too many. The first time we recorded this was in the 2020 general elections, where about 6 to 7 lives were lost after the elections. 7 to 8 lives. Mr. Speaker, just this election that has gone by, we are told of about 2 or 3 lives that have been lost. Mr. Speaker, indeed, as we speak, a family in Tolong, in Yangpala, is preparing for a funeral tomorrow with about 15 others nursing various degrees of injuries. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be accepted without us taking measures and proper briefing on what might have gone wrong. And so, Mr. Speaker, even though we do not have time, I will plead that the Business Committee considers a briefing to this House by either the Defense Minister or the Interior Minister or whoever was responsible for the provision of security in the just ended elections, so that the incoming government perhaps can take a cue and assure us that never again, after these 2 incidents, will we record loss of lives again during our elections. Mr. Speaker, it is my humble appeal to you and the Business Committee to consider. Thank you.
Honorable members, yes, Dr. Opoku Prempe.
Thank you.
Before the Minister for Defense.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you ably and aptly described the agenda that has been agreed between the 2 leaders. Probably what we didn't do was to say that it is a restated business statement for the rest of the week. But we have gone round and round and round, and we are coming back with a consensus to say maybe the leadership should meet urgently and consider things that the 2 sides can agree so that we go on. Mr. Speaker, I also don't believe that we are going to sit here and pick and choose. If we are not going to, and we are left with only 1 or 2 items, let's do those 1 or 2 items and leave the incoming government with a free hand to operate as they want. But what has been agreed, vote on expenditure for the first quarter of next year and other matters that we all agree to. Let's do that and we can rise in 2-3 days. I don't believe personally that we should go about doing first reading of a bill, second reading of a bill, third reading of a bill, because it all has implications on the fiscal balance of the country. There's not a single bill here that doesn't have got a cost implication for government. So let's leave it to them and let them inherit all the goodness of what we're trying to do and let them bring in all the badness that they are bringing so that Ghanaians will know the difference. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister for Defense.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I just want to support the position that, look, the business committee has met. We have never had a situation where the business committee has met and we have done everything. What we can do within the next 4 days, Mr. Speaker, let's do it. What is not possible, because if the two leaders or the leadership agree on what is possible, let's do it and move on. But Mr. Speaker, I want to respond to what my colleague said. We as a country agreed from 2008 that ministers of state, government functionaries, including the MMDs, so municipal chief executives, the DCEs, ministers of state, government officials, members of parliament cannot and should not be in charge of security when it comes to election matters. It should be left to the purview of the security services led by the police. So at the national level, it is the Inspector General of Police who is in charge of the security, the committee that oversees the security when it comes to election purposes. And at the regional level, it is the regional police commander who is in charge of it. And at district level, it is the district police commander who is in charge of it. And so that's how it is. There's an election committee at the national, at the regional, and at the district. If you are calling the Minister for Interior, he would just simply come and tell you he was not in charge of it. It's the IGP. If you call any other person, whether it's Defense or Interior or any of the ministers, they will just be there. They will have no answers, because at the day of before elections, the election and after election, is the security people who are in charge, led by the Inspector General of Police. And so if the Speaker thinks, or the House thinks that they want to call the election security to come and brief this House, it cannot be members of, it cannot be ministers or government appointees, because they have no role. And in fact, it was good. It's good that the executive were not in charge of security. It's always been like that, because you cannot be a judge of your own court. It's wrong. And so that's why if you are calling somebody, it can only be the IGP and his team that will come and then you decide what happens. But I can say the record does not speak, or the record does not support your position that it was just 2020 and 2024 that people died out of election. I can tell you 2004 in Tolong, in Kumbungu, go and find out, and several other places, people lost their lives. But Mr. Speaker, it's the decision of this House. If they want to call them, we can discuss these things. But just like somebody hinted, some of these discussions, it helps when we first do a committee of the whole, and after that, if we decide that there are some things that we want to talk to the public about, we can talk to the public about. I don't have any problem. If it's a public debate we want to do, we'll be willing to do a public debate on anything, anywhere, anytime, and any place. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, would we now proceed to adopt the report? And let me once again reiterate to all of you, particularly those of you who, as members of parliament, are given the opportunity to be ministers of state, together with the leader of government business. The Speaker presides over the business of the House. At least, even if not captured by our rules, the Speaker should have pre-knowledge of the business coming before the House. You don't bring business to the House and the Speaker gets to know of the business just on the order paper. How are you going to manage the debate on the business? These things we are talking about concerning the agreement between the Republic of Ghana and the military, I'm just seeing them on the order paper. I have no document, I have no briefing, I have nothing. And I'm expected by our rules to be the one admitting the business, and the business being referred to the business committee to deliberate upon and schedule for the consideration of the House. I've told you a number of times that please don't try to shortchange the Speaker's role in this matter. It's very important, because sometimes when you are having this debate, the Speaker is able to intervene, to also draw attention to the national interests And sometimes the Speaker prevails in doing that and is able to convince both sides of the House to adopt the business. But if the Speaker has no knowledge, there's nothing you can do. But I really had discussion with the leaders. And I also took note of what has happened in previous years. And that is why I guided the House as to the essential items, in fact, the critical items that we should consider within this week. In fact, I proposed the Saturday for us to sit, because I thought that by Friday we might not have completed these items. So I added Saturday. If need be, we should sit on Saturday to make sure that we complete them. Because after Saturday, we're going into the Christmas recess. In fact, Christmas break. And then by the time you return, it's around 28th. And you have some business around 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, where you start making the necessary preparations for a transition. By our new standing orders, there are a number of things we have to do, including the government of the day, to pave way for the new government to take over. And so all this have been factored into the presentation I made. Once again, I want to urge you to be guided by that presentation. As we sit, we have the presidential transition team, the technical team, working on the details of the transition. We have in the law, that is Act 845, the functions of the team. And there are some things that they have to do. And we in this House have a role to play. If you go through Section 2 of the Act, it's clearly stated there at 2C, the functions of the team are, and you include 2C, ensure that the salaries, allowances, facilities, privileges, and the retiring benefits or awards are determined, Roman 1, by the President under Clause 1 of Article 71, and Roman 2 by Parliament under Clause 2 of Article 71, and which are due to the holders of the offices specified in Article 71 of the Constitution, are paid or accorded to those persons without undue delay. So we have a lot of work to do around that time. We know we are all agreed that there's a need for reforms. But until the reforms, these are end. And this involves a lot of public officials, not politicians, a lot of public officials who actually take what we call gratuity, not ex gratia, gratuity. So we need to find space for this. And I will propose that leaders to focus on that and put in place a committee in readiness to receive the report. I was expecting to get a copy of the report today. Unfortunately, it hasn't yet gotten to the destination. I haven't received anything like that. And so we want this House to have a dedicated committee or to constitute itself in the committee of the whole, so that immediately it arrives, they are able to go into the details and to present a report for the approval of the House. And that deals with the conditions of service for the executive and the judiciary. And so please, members, let's take note of that. We don't have the pleasure of time, and we need to hurry up on these critical matters, finish them before the end of this month, and then we can now pave the way to transit, because the intention is for the next Parliament to be sworn in not just on the 7th, but we are proposing, and it is stated in the law, the Presidential Transition Act 2012, that the election of the next speaker be done 2 days to the end of the term of the parliament. And so that you don't have to be doing elections on the 7th of the speaker. It will be like with swearing in of the speaker, who will now swear in the members, including the deputy speakers. And that will give a very seamless transition for the House to move to swear in the president on the same day. So that our illustrious luminaries, the guests that we invite from other countries, don't come and spend the whole day waiting for us to banter over who is speaker, elected speaker on the floor of the House. So we are finding space for all this. So we don't have the leisure of time to be going back to consider very substantive, controversial matters. Please, let's have faith in each other and allow the governance as a continuum to lead us to develop our nation. I think this will be my last appeal, and I will not entertain anybody taking us backwards. So please, table office, tomorrow's order paper, make sure that you do the right thing by eliminating all this very heavy business load on the House, because we will not be able to do them. We should not keep on deceiving the public that these are before the House. On the issue of the Constitution Amendment Bill, that is very dear to my heart. But there were serious objections that were raised by the current government, and in the discussion with leadership, there was no agreement. And so we decided that since we all agree that it's important to make some constitutional reforms, why not let's carry it along to the next government for it to be comprehensively taken through with the rest. If the need be for it to be taken earlier, it will be done within the first quarter of next year. So that was the understanding. So I had to remove that from my priority list and to allow the social, again, the leaders drew my attention to some benefits that will inure to the country. And it's not a controversial bill, that we could take it through as quickly as possible. That is why it's being added to the list of priorities. So please, let's go on with that. With this, I proceed to put the question. Those in favor of the adoption of the report of the Business Committee as revised by members. Yes, but
discussed and expressed opinions. My humble suggestion is that we should adopt the report. We should adopt the report subject to the issues raised, so that, Mr. Speaker, we come back to the House. I mean, the adoption of the report is not a finality. So, as revised, because we have not given specific amendment to it, and we agreed as a House, and I'm surprised that the minority leader coming to the floor to again raise an objection on a matter that by consensus we've agreed, but that is politics, Mr. Speaker. An impression is being created as if these items are new items that have suddenly arisen. It is not the case, but it's okay, I rest my case.
Majority Leader, it's not fair. You know your colleague Minority Leader is not here. But both of you sat with me on this matter. Yes, and you never agreed. He is not there. Now you got up to say you agreed, and you are trying to talk about you did not even allow your colleagues in leadership to be part of that discussion. And you disagreed. So you don't get up to paint a picture as if he's reneging on something he has agreed to earlier on. That's not fair.
Right, Mr. Speaker, I don't want to debate this matter, but Mr. Speaker, we had a business committee meeting, and I have signed a business committee report. Mr. Speaker, for me, if members have new issues to deal with, we can deal with them, but let us adopt those.
Yes, honorable members, do we have to keep on debating this matter? Yes, okay.
Speaker, truly, the honorable minority leader, when he got to the business committee meeting, the honorable majority leader was not there. So it is not like the two of them met at the business committee meeting. Leader, clear that. Secondly, the business committee meeting was supposed to be started at 9. The honorable majority leader sent a message that they should send it to 10 a.m. By the time the honorable majority Atuforsin got there, leader, you had convened the meeting and closed the meeting and left. When he got there, he disagreed and wanted the meeting to be reconvened because you misled him with the time. So if you come here and you are now painting him as if he went to the meeting and agreed with you, only to come here and have a change of mind, you are not being fair to him. For Christ's sake, Mr. Speaker, the honorable minority leader Atuforsin was clear at the meeting. He said he wanted clarity. We should select the items to be agreed upon before coming here. And you prevail upon that when he gets here, he can express his opinion. He has come to do say, and you are painting him black. So which is which? So clearly, Mr. Speaker, we should go by the path that you are chartering to, and I think it's the best way to go. As expenditure in appropriation, you go and say that, oh, and these people don't want workers to be paid. Let's prioritize that. When we finish that and there's something to be done, that one will be up to us.
Honorable Ayarga.
Speaker, I think that we all know that whatever is contained in the report constitutes proposals to us as a house to accept or reject. The proposals were made. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, you drew attention to the fact that given the time at our disposal, we will not be able realistically to cover all the items that are being proposed. And you suggested that we prioritize certain items. Members raised issues, rejected some items contained in the proposal. You have put it to a vote, and he is saying that we should accept everything. When members are very clear that certain items contained in the proposals are not acceptable to them. If you don't accept a revised proposal, this side is likely to vote against it. And if we vote against it, then there will be a problem indicated by the Speaker so that we can move on. Please, your own side is even against some of the proposals and saying that let's deal with the expenditure items for the first quarter of next year and then we close. So there's clearly no consensus on all the items contained in the proposal. That is why we should accept the Speaker's proposal that let's adopt a revised business statement report. And then we can move on.
So, Majority Leader, you want me to put the question without the word revised? I'll just put the question. Those who are in favor of the adoption of the report, then they vote.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, let me make this important point. Then we can draw the curtain on this matter. Mr. Speaker, the practice in a parliament is for government business to be tabled on the floor, views expressed, and a vote taken. Mr. Speaker, these items have been business of government since some have been on the business state or border paper since 2022. Some have been on the order paper since May. Mr. Speaker, what is their problem? If you say you are opposed to it, so be it. Let us come with the motion. You have your 137. Your 137 will say no. Our 138, if we have it, we vote for it. Two, Mr. Speaker, on the judges, the committee is done with its report. You participated. The report is supposed to be laid. If you are against it, that is your principled position. But you cannot say that government business, because you merely disagree, we should not list it on the order paper, or that it should not be a matter for business committee to consider. We will be setting a bad precedent for democracy. We will be setting a bad precedent for democracy where members will say that because they disagree, they will vote against a business statement to say that we agree for this item to be on the business statement. We don't agree for this. What you do is to wait to express your opinion. And when you express your opinion, if at the end of the day your opinion carries the day, so be it. But Mr. Speaker, what they are introducing
is not the first time. Go and read the Hansard of 2000. You will come across a similar challenge that faced the House. That time, I was chairman of the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. His Excellency the President was the ranking member. Go and read it. The same issue of nomination of judges to the Supreme Court came up by the minority then. And the then government had to drop those nominees. Go and read the Hansard. And the reason that were adduced, led by His Excellency the President at that time, they are there. So don't create the impression that this is the first time such a challenge is facing the House. If there's a need for us to improve upon it, and I believe there's always a need to improve on these things, okay, let's say so, and let's go on it. But I gave you a reason that these matters, midnight or the next day, I'm available. Luckily, I'm very healthy now. You know, I can see through. Be prepared. But let's do a good job to make sure that the decisions we take will be to the benefit of Ghana and Ghanaians. That's most important. Not just rush through them and then maybe further aggravate the economic or social situation in the country. That's my worry. We have spent the whole day today not doing much. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. But I'll put the question. If I put the question as you have requested, I'm trying to look at your numbers. Because sometimes I have to save you from embarrassment. I have to look at your numbers and look at their numbers to...
A paper is to be presented to the House, and a decision is taken that no, will not allow you to introduce the paper to the House. It means that technically you are saying that you don't allow government business to come to the House. And that will be a dangerous... Mr. Speaker, it is useful. However, we must also be careful. Is it the case that a speaker would say that I will allow this government business, I will not allow this government business? So even though I see a lot of sense in what the speaker is doing, we must also look at the technical implications. I think that we have these matters before us. Admittedly, it's not everything that we can deal with. So we adopt the report and we consider those matters that have come before us.
we get to first reading is just rising and bowing, but we can't transact business on it. Like the second reading and so on and so forth. Because when you do the first reading, you now have to refer the matter to the appropriate committee to go and consider and report to the House. Do we have the luxury of time? We may not have that luxury of time, which then goes to what direction the Speaker is giving us. That let's look at all these implications. So we become very pragmatic in the consideration of these matters. So I'm saying that time certainly will not allow us. When it is advertised for a paper to be presented and the nation, which in my view will not be good for the image of the House. But we must be pragmatic. What can we deal with? What can we not deal with? The Speaker has offered some suggestions. Going forward, we look at what to do, what we can do, and what we cannot do. As simple as that. Which is why the leader is saying that, okay, let's adopt the report. However, we must take into consideration the various suggestions that come from the floor, that have come from the floor. Then we move on. So that is my consideration of the matter.